is. After all this time, I have finally found it. The legendary computer of Swansea Swagnette. Finally. I need to record something on it. Okay, I know what to do. Hello, my name is Sanona Womsey, and I am here to report upon the great tragedy that the Earth has undergone in the time that it has taken for us to uncover this laptop. I have gone raiding through the leftover houses. The world is in ruins. Zombies, vampires, and vegans have taken to the streets in an attempt to try and stop people from killing animals. But it did not work because the zombies just went and killed animals anyway. We have located a voice clip of a conversation between Onesie Swagnette and Onesie Bannett, and it details something disturbing. I think you should probably watch it.
Oi! Dickhead! What the fuck are you doing? I'm kind of recording something. What do you want? Shut up and fucking look out your window! There's nothing there. Exactly! Why is it so fucking boring around here? Probably because you haven't got anything to do. Go out and do something. Go and play Pokemon Go or something. I'm not allowed to play Pokemon Go anymore, remember? Last time I went out, I went into the church and found a load of ghastlies, and they all thought I was threatening to become the next Hitler. How do you find yourself in these situations all the time? Probably because I go out wearing no shirt and people think I'm a drunk. I don't think people think you're a drunk. I think they think you're high as fuck. Anyway, I didn't come in here to ask that. I came in here to let you know that I have become a vegan. Oh, really? Well, good for you, Swagnette. I think that's brilliant. Well done for you. You've made a positive change on the world. Yeah, but now I'm contractually obligated to tell you every 10 minutes that meat is murder, so I'll be setting a reminder on my phone. Wait. Contractually obligated? You have a contract to be a vegan? What are you talking about? Look, it says right here in black and white. This is the place that I signed. I solemnly swear not to reveal the secrets of the Order of the Illuminati. What have you done? Oi, don't be having to go at me, dickhead, just because I tried to make a positive change in my life. You've joined the Illuminati! What the fuck are you talking about, dickhead? I just tried to become a vegan. It says right here that you've sold your entire life, and anything that you accomplish in your life is now property, intellectual property, of the Illuminati. Where the hell did you sign this? Well, I was playing Pokemon Go after I'd been to the church, and it said there was a Blastoise in some big building, so I went inside and there was all these big hooded men in cloaks, and I basically said, "What you doing, dickhead?" And they said, "Oh, we are members of the Illuminati." And I said, "Oh, okay then. What do you do here?" And they said, "We save animals." And I said, "Oh, I want to save animals. I like the piggies. There's a Blastoise here as well. Can I catch it?" And they said, "Okay, you can catch the Blastoise if you sign this paper." And then they gave me the paper. I signed the paper, and then I kept the paper, and then I walked away. Have you been anywhere else since you've came here? Well, I went to Tesco's to pick up some barbecue supplies so that I could cook you a delicious sausage later. You've just said you became a Swagnette, did you give the Illuminati our address? Of course I did, dickhead. How else are they gonna come to the barbecue? Oh, for fuck's sake. Right, we need to get out of here now. Pack a bag, Swagnette, we're leaving. But what about the barbecue? I want myself a tasty veggie burger. We don't have time to be worrying about that now. The Illuminati know where we live. Oh, shit, they're here. Swagnette, we're not home, okay? We're not home. Don't answer the door! Hello? Yeah, okay. Swagnette! What are you doing? No! Sorry, I'm sorry.
Eating potatoes is murder.
The the reason I am showing you these clips is because it is assumed that Potato Lord Jim is the one who murdered and kidnapped Onesie Bennett and Onesie Swagnette. However, the clips I am showing you are direct proof that that is the case. Why am I showing you this? Watch the next clip. It is the final video ever created by Onesie Bennett. It is a battle between himself and Potato Lord Jim. And it directly ties into what I have just shown you.
How is it going, guys? My name is Onesie Bennett and welcome back to the final week of the Battle Union against Potato Jim, our Lord and Saviour Potato Jim and his Meave Mamoswines. And quite frankly, this was always going to be a very fun game, but it's been quite annoying for me trying to actually upload this because, well, I don't know if you guys have heard, but there's been a really bad case of, well, a vegan outbreak where something happened where they were trying to create super meat and they ended up trying to do it to a live animal and it kind of turned the animal feral and into a zombie, and then it infected a human, and it got very strange very quickly, and now we're basically under siege. And as you can see, the battle's kind of having to be done on Showdown. That's because Nintendo were the first people to be attacked, so Nintendo's Wi-Fi servers have completely gone down. I don't know if they'll be back up again, and to be honest, I don't know how long it is before the internet holds out, but me and Jim decided that we were gonna, you know, play a game on Showdown just to be sure that we could actually do things and stuff, you know, just to occupy our minds from what was going on. And I uploaded my team builder almost 2 weeks ago, and there's been a lot of crap going on. I don't know if this will actually make it to YouTube or not. If it does, then it's a pretty messed up situation, and I assume everything's gone back to normal, but if not, then it's fine. But anyway, having said this, you can already see what my lead is and what his lead is, and it's not a great matchup for me. The team that Jim decided to bring was... Jim decided to bring Latios, Zygarde, Aggron, Florges, Mismagius, and Pangoro. And as you can see, I've brought Lantern, Registeel, Latias, Mega Latias that is, Garchomp, Blaziken, and Sylveon. And this is great news for me because, as we can see, Sylveon, the Baton Pass shenanigans I'm trying with Blaziken and Sylveon are really going to work here. Really going to work here. If I can get a Baton Pass into Sylveon, I can essentially sweep his entire team. I could literally win this game with Echoed Voice and Hyper Voice, depending on which one's left. But anyway, let's get into this and see what happened. This is the first time I'll be doing a Showdown column, so I'll be able to use the pause and play buttons. So yeah, let's get into this. As you can see, Jim leads off with his Pangoro, and I decide to switch out into Garchomp to take a hit, and he goes for the parting shot, switching out into his Aggron. I don't really want to stay in on that thing, so I see he's going to Mega Evolve and get up his Stealth Rocks, and I predict that and go into Shoyo to preserve his Focus Sash. I go straight for a Fire Blast, and he Thunder Waves me. Now, one important thing about that Thunder Wave is it shows me that I can no longer do my Latias's Reflect type over this Aggron, because the whole plan was that Aggron would have to run Toxic to hit me. I would Reflect type into the Steel type, and I'd be completely immune to the Toxic, and I'd be able to set up in its face and then win with Stored Power or Psyshock, or which I can't even remember which one I brought now, but that's a bit frustrating because now my Blaziken's paralysed. It is still at a decent amount of, it's still at full health and it still has its Focus Sash, but it's paralysed. The great thing about this is I managed to get this Aggron down to about a third of its health. That's enough for Sylveon to Revenge Kill it. Anyway, back into the match. He decides to switch out here and go into his Latios as I set up an Agility, and I still have my Sash. So as long as I don't get paralysed, I can Baton Pass, and that's exactly what I do. I go out into Sylveon, and we're in business here. I predict him to go into the Aggron to sacrifice it, so I go for the Echoed Voice. It does 20%. Now I can go for another one. That's now at 80 power. Aggron's down. Sylveon gets a kill. And now I go for another Echoed Voice, but he has Scarf, Destiny Bond, and Sylveon is halted. Sylveon, and the reason why that is so important is because if he didn't have that Scarf Destiny Bond, that would have been a 6-0 victory for me right there. He had nothing on his team that was going to be able to live or even do enough damage to stop me, because Echoed Voice was up to 120 base power, plus Pixelate, plus Stab. Nothing on his side of the team is going to win that. And one more, after that Mismagius went down, it would have been at 160 base power. That's more powerful than Hyper Beam. That's ridiculous. But by running the Scarf Destiny Bond on Miss Magus, he's halted my Sylveon sweep. And now, yeah, he's decided to go into the Latios here. What I did by going back into Blaziken was I wanted to make sure what his lead was before I decided to choose my appropriate counter. So by going into Blaziken and sacrificing it off to the Stealth Rocks, as you can see, Blaziken's are going to go down to the Stealth Rocks because I'm slower, and I can then go into Michael Bolton to get the appropriate matchup. Now he goes out into Pangoro, and I go straight for the Iron Head, which does over half, revealing to me that this is not some kind of defensive Pangoro. He goes straight for a Drain Punch, which is obviously going to be very, very painful. But as you can see, it does 74%, bringing him back up to 85%. And another Iron Head, and my Life Orb damage is going to mean that his Drain Punch is not going to get him much health back at all, and this thing is revengeable. So, I go into Garchomp, bluffing the Scarf, which is what I do. I go for an Earthquake, and I'm sure at this point, this Latias, as he brings it in, he thinks I'm Scarfed, and he thinks I'm Scarfed into Earthquake, and that I can't touch this Latias. And predicting him to think that, he goes for a Calm Mind, thinking I'm Scarfed. I go for a Substitute. This is fantastic because he's got to break my sub now as I can go for an Outrage. This is where I realise I should have brought Dragon Claw, because if I had Dragon Claw on this Garchomp, it would have meant that I could have still O-code the Latios, but then I would have been able to go for an Iron Head straight on this turn onto this Mrs. Bucket and not letting it set up on me as it's about to do right now. So as you can see, I'm going to go for an Outrage straight into that Florges and get confused from it, and he's going to go for a Calm Mind, which is annoying because now I'm going to hurt myself in confusion on the next turn as I go for the Earthquake, and he's going to hit me with a Moonblast. And this is why this Latios is now in a very bad position, and I really can't do anything against this Florges. As you can see, this Florges is at +1/+1. Now, if this is a defensive Florges, but it's not, because he has Life Orb, but if it was a defensive Florges, I could still have been able to do something. I could still have been able to set up over this Florges and possibly win the game, because as you can see, I'm going to Mega Evolve and go straight for the Reflect type, becoming a Fairy type, meaning that he's no longer super effective on me, but it does 60% because he's max special attack Life Orb, and the only thing I can do now is just keep going for Recover to stall it down to as little health as possible before going for a Psyshock. Unfortunately, as you can see, I'm going to go for another Recover, and he's just going to kill me with Moonblasts. And my only hope now is that I can outspeed this Florges with Lantern. I can't, and it takes me out with a Moonblast, and that is a 2-0 victory for Potato Jim and the Meath Swines. And that was a great, great game, one of the most enjoyable ones I've had this season. Incredibly, incredibly close, and it's really, really, really how it shows me how I've managed to finally learn how to teach Swagnette to use this team. Swagnette's finally gotten used to the team, but it's too late. If the season started again from now, I reckon with the same team, I'd do a lot better. Swagnette would be winning way more games, and we'd probably end up getting into playoffs, but we weren't used to the team, and other teams caught us out. But yeah, that's the end of the Battle Union, guys, and it's been a tough season, and Swagnette's been very, very, very difficult to work with this season, and it's been very frustrating for me because I'm building teams and he's not playing well with them. I'm not even building well, but he's not playing well with the teams I am building. So, what happens from here? Well, oi, dickhead, what the fuck are you doing?
So in the battle, you can see that Potato Lord Jim defeated Onesie Burnett and Onesie Swagnette's combined powers in a Pokemon battle. That shows that Lord Potato Jim defeated them, then kidnapped them, then murdered them. However, that is not the case. Do you know how I know this?
Because I escaped, motherfucker. I escaped. You can't keep me down forever.